Okay, welcome to our show Conversations. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about karma. And I'm doing this video because I saw a video recently where they was talking about karma. And they was saying some things in there that made sense to those who don't believe that karma is going to come back for that ass. But it didn't make sense because I have actually bear witness, okay, to people who was basically going around shitting on people for years and fucking years and nothing ever happened. Excuse me, give me a moment. Anyway, I bear witness to people who was basically shitting on people, especially when it comes down to a relationship. Let me tell you something. I know 3 men, okay, who was consistently cheating on their wives, and it appeared that they were getting away with it. It appeared that they was getting away with it, and I thought they got away with it. I remember there was one lady that I was talking to, and she was going through so much pain and disrespect that she felt like she was ready to take her life because the disrespect and the spiritual warfare was so deep that she felt like she could not cope. And I didn't think that, things were going to turn out the way it turned out, but guess what happened? He cheated. She cried. He knew the depression that she was under. He never stopped. Actually, the more depressed he got, the more harder he went on her. And that's usually what happens when you're dealing with people who are demonic, and you're dealing with people who don't give a fuck, and you're dealing with people who want to see you fall. Sometimes what happens, they take liberty and they go harder on you and harder. But that stops. And like I said, I knew a lady who was married to this man for a long time. She was married over 10 years. She just had her 3rd kid by him. And she did everything in her power to keep the relationship. But nothing worked. It seemed like the more she tried, the more he kept shitting and shitting and shitting on her. Guess what happened? One day, she mustered up the strength, most likely from the higher God, from whatever God that you believe in. And he gave her the strength to pack her shit and bounce. And lo and behold, guess what happened? She met a man along the way. And things hit off. And guess what? She divorced that fucking loser, that demonic being, and she ended up marrying another man. And let me tell you something. Her new man, I don't know him through and through, okay? Because it does take time to get to know people. Sometimes it takes years to know people. But I can tell you one thing's for sure. Her new man is 1,000 times better than that creep. He looks better. He's financially better. He's nicer. And he's actually wearing his ring. Something that her ex did not do. Okay? So, guess what happened? She got married again. And guess what happened to homeboy? The cheater. He lost his house. He lost his car. he lost his job. And let me tell you something, that's not the only man I seen that happen to, that was running around disrespecting their wives, shitting on them left, right, and center, and thought that they was on top. They was on top. But did they stay on top? No, they did not. Because when you shit on somebody constantly, consistently, and they're doing nothing but trying to make things work, your homegirl Karma's gonna come and visit that ass. And that's exactly what she has done. And let me tell you something. I know, let me count, because I think it's about 4 or 5 men now. Yeah, I know about 4 or 5 men, various ages, that got their karma. They got their due justice. And let me tell you something. They lost everything. You hear me? They lost their house. They lost their car. They lost their job. And they lost their dignity. I know some men who used to go around and shit on women for years and years. I mean, sometimes this disrespect lasted as long as a decade. And let me tell you what happened. Unfortunately, these same men who couldn't keep that hot frank in their pocket and their pants, unfortunately, they are now out of order. They're out of order. And the only thing that they can offer is sweet talk, a little bit of money, and, you know, their time. They really can't offer anything else. So I say this, that basically, if you want to know if karma is real and if evildoers are going to get their karma, yes, they